right, welcome students. This week we are going to talk about parallel lines and perpendicular lines. I hope for most of you this is review, but it's not. But if it's not, either way, please pay attention. There are a few things that you might not know and or forgot about, which is proper notation. It's a big deal here, okay? All right, parallel lines and perpendicular lines. Some of the vocabulary we're going to use is what is a line. This is a connection of so many points that extends continuous in both directions. By saying a line in the presentation, we will be referring to a straight line. So no curves, just straight lines. A parallel line. So that is a collection of two or more lines whose distance between them does not change. We're going to see what that means. There are lines whose distance between them do not change along their length. In such situations, they never meet. And this is the key thing here. They do not meet. So these two will never meet. These two will never meet. These three, sorry, and these two will never meet. Very important. Parallel lines will never meet. Okay. When we say distance between parallel lines, we mean that the shortest distance between them is the same. This short distance is represented by line segments that are equal and perpendicular to the pair of lines. So these two right here are going to be the same distance from each other. These two, DC and AB, are parallel lines and they're the same distance from each other. So these, let me just show you. So in the figure above, AB and DC are parallel lines, while FE, HG, and ML are equal perpendicular lines. So ML, HG, and FE are going to be perpendicular to here, to CD and AB. Because they're perpendicular, they form right angles. So these three lines are the same. That's what the little sign says there. Little line there. Parallel lines are denoted by two parallel short lines. So this is a symbol to use proper notation between parallel lines. You gotta use this symbol. I'm gonna teach you where it is in your class in your keyboard. So we write it like this to mean that AB is parallel to DC. All right, sometimes parallel lines are drawn with extra arrows to show that they're parallel. So sometimes you see these little arrows here, these mini arrows. That means that these two, they have two little arrows each. Those two are parallel. And then you have these three horizontal lines. They are parallel to each other. They have one little arrow. That's just form, that's just notation. Okay. In example one, which ones are parallel? Let's see. L5, L2, and L1 are parallel to each other. L8, L4, L3 are parallel to each other. And then L7 and L6 are parallel to each other. Vocabulary, more vocabulary. So now we're talking about intersecting lines. These are two or more lines across each other at points or point called the point of intersection. PQ, line PQ, PQ over here, and RS are intersecting lines and at point O. Point O is common to both lines, so they're called intersecting lines. All right, perpendicular lines. Two rays, line segments, or lines are perpendicular to each other if they intersect or meet at right angles. So RS is perpendicular to PQ. It's forming a right angle here and also another right angle, right? The proper notation for perpendicular lines, it's right here. You use like a little perpendicular symbol here. So this says PQ, line PQ is perpendicular to segment, that's a segment. Notice this is not a line, it's a segment, RS. Properties perpendicular lines. Number one, they intersect or meet each other at 90 degrees. So 90 degrees meaning that they form right angles. If two lines intersect at 90 degrees, they form four right angles at the point of intersection. So if RS was longer, it would form four right angles. That's what it means. Let's look at it here. So identify whether the pairs of intersecting lines are perpendicular or not. Well, guess what? This is just intersecting lines. They're not forming right angles. It's not straight up like this. What about this one? Notice here. There's one right angle here. There must be one here. There must be one here. And there must be one here. So 90 degrees each right angle here. 4. All right, and this ends our presentation. Please go ahead and do the examples in your assignment.